Hey, hello there. Hello there, hello there. Hello. Let's get off this mask and let the games begin. This mask was sent to me by Jonathan Luftig, who got the material, or his wife Ling got the material sent all the way from Japan. It's very Grateful Deadish, is it not? With these skulls and roses. Yeah, I'm a Dead fan to a degree. I love Live Dead and early Grateful Dead, but I was thinking more along the lines of Day of the Dead, Los Dios, Los Muertes, which is a big celebration in Mexico, lovely Mexico, and I was lucky enough to play there on Day of the Dead last year in a big cultural center, thanks to my friends Carlos Becerra and Solange Garcia and Javier Bavier, and I'm really looking forward to going back there and playing there, and also in Europe, and anyway, wherever they'll have me. So just wanted to say thank you for all the birthday greetings. You guys are spectacular. I'll get to more about that, but right now here, Lulu just entered the picture. Hi, Lulu. So we're going to do a grace for Lulu. Here we go. Bittersweet. I love that, the last note of that thing. And, okay, well, I've had the privilege of playing Grace and a whole bunch of the songs I wrote with Jeff, all 12 of them, in various formats, and I love to meet new singers who will take up the challenge. So who will be the next in line, eh? Who wants to get up there and sing this with me? I'm I'm open for your suggestions. I gotta take a swig of this now. Just water, just water. Fiji water. It's really bloody hot in New York. I got the windows open. And let's look over the neighborhood. Let's see, these guys are busy as bees over there, building this oligarch's mansion. A billionaire, according to Wikipedia. I won't mention any names so as to protect the guilty here and not embarrass the innocent. But I will mention names of some people who contributed very generous donations here since I began doing a 3-part tribute to Captain Beefheart. They really came out of the woodwork, and I'm so grateful. Alain Chavat from France. Alain, thank you so much. And he wrote, thank you so much for your Beefheart home gigs. Well, it was my pleasure, and I'm going to sprinkle some Beefheartism in all of the ensuing pandemic concerts that I'm doing, and every Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, so look out for that, because there's so much I could say more about that guy, and stuff that I have not thought of for years has surfaced to my, bubbled up impetuously into my consciousness over the last week or so, just recalling all this silliness. Jonathan Luftig, I already gave you a shout out for that mask. This is such a cool mask. Although, people look and why is that guy wearing skulls? I'm trying to protect you and I, actually. And I think cloth masks are the way to go. And this is a particularly colorful one. I have another one on the way, though. So look for that. I don't want to reveal too many details yet. N. Coakley. Thanks, Gary. Loved the guitar last night. I could have listened for hours. That's what Lou Reed told me after I played for him once privately. Exactly those words, and the stories were fascinating. And I'm known as Grace Quirk on Facebook. So Grace, anybody with the name Grace, I'm really partial to. Gracie Fields, Gracie Allen, good gracious balls of fire. Steve Froy, this is the main driver, as far as I know right now, at beefheart.com. Along with Graham, although I haven't heard from Graham in a while. Steve writes, keep on doing what you're doing. Thanks for the music and stories. And righty-o, buddy. I'm going to keep on keeping on. That's all I know how to do. And pick and grin here. So Mickey McMahon, this guy must have contributed about 20 times. And I think I've done at least 40 of these concerts so far. Niles Yeager, another multiple contributor. Our friend Niles, Caroline. Caroline's over there working away on casting a new mega production. David Getz, or Gertz, Goetz. Again, buddy, thank you. Mark Robeson, sounds suspiciously English to me, thank you. Allison Baker, I could watch these all day, Allison wrote me. Well, I could play all day, but I'm trying to dole this stuff out in little half-hour digestible chunks, so as not to overdo it, and to keep you wanting more, like my dad, my late father, Murray, who I gave a testimonial to. You can look it up on my timeline here on Facebook on Father's Day, just at midnight. So we're going out of it. I wrote an appreciation to my wonderful dad, Murray Lucas. Murray told me once, I came to him after playing a marathon concert in the Czech Republic in a little club in Kolín, where I could have kept going for hours because the people kept shouting and screaming for more. It occurred to me that I should follow his advice, and I actually got up after the second encore and said on the mic, my father always told me, leave them wanting more. So that's it. See ya. And that's what I do at 3:30. Usually I skedaddle out of here, but I love to answer anybody or talk to you guys on Messenger because I can't read you here, and it is so damn bright today. I'm going to soon revert to these shades. My Wayfarers. Are they real Wayfarers? Anyway, Lou Reed style. They are good stuff. Good sunglasses to have, or lunettes, as they would say in France. Keep going. John Page. Fabulous, your birthday gift to us. Well, it was my pleasure, and I'd rather give than receive Well, not always. It's a two-way street. You know, you guys give me so much encouragement and you know, an incentive to keep going. And by golly, I'm going to keep going. Hope you come to DC after this craziness subsides. I'd love to come back to DC. I think the last time I played there was at a Washington, D.C. Jewish Film Festival with a Golem, one of my live music and film projects that I co-wrote with Walter Horn, my childhood friend. And I'd love to come back there and play that for you. Robert Sweeney, thank you. Shelley Reese, or Rice, also thank you. David McCauley, Mark Green. There's a politician with that name. Elizabeth Abbott. Dear Elizabeth Abbott, you are so sweet. She's contributed several times. I know Liz going back to my days toiling in the vineyards of CBS Records as a lowly copywriter, and God bless you. And Bradley Stevens to wrap it up here. These guys all did yeoman service, these guys and gals. So right now I'm going to switch over, I think, to steel guitar. I'm telling you, it is so bright here. I might have to get a new cockpit to perform out of in the apartment. I don't know, but. you tuned in, but Sunday night, Joe's Pub at the Public Theater, one of my favorite places to play here in New York, had a whole compilation that they streamed of selected live performances by a variety of artists, including my project, The Edge of Heaven, which is Chinese pop music from the 30s and 40s, and also some brand new covers in Mandarin Chinese of things like Bob Dylan and Jefferson Airplane and a bunch of stuff. And it features great singer Feifei Yang, who also plays Emin Arhu, the two-string violin. She's a virtuoso player. And Jason Candler, who's my longtime saxophonist and recording engineer. He also doubles on guitar and percussion. He's been a treasure, and he's been with me for longer pretty much than anybody in Gods and Monsters. And so anyway, if you didn't see it, I think later I will post a clip from that show, which shows us doing a little duet on a great Teresa Teng song, The Moon Represents My Heart, which I had the pleasure to do with Feifei with a full symphony orchestra up at Alice Tully Hall a couple of years ago, in which I had to really learn Mandarin Chinese. Not very easy, at my age. You can't teach well, you know how it goes. So, but she did a good job teaching me, and I drove everybody crazy, right, Carol? I drove everybody crazy in the nearby vicinity, working zealously to master the vocables here of Mandarin, and I'd had some prior experience because of the couple of years I spent living in Taipei, and lots of adventures, and people are asking me if I'm going to write a book, and I am kind of like I've got a good chunk written already of a whole bunch of these stories, some of them about Captain Beefheart, and then I have so many other stories of touring all over the world and this and that. So yeah, the answer to that is yes, I'm working on it. And when it will come out, I don't know. But I want it to be as good as possible, obviously. So I'll play a little Chinese pop for you. Yeah. And anyway, I'll segue right into a Beefheart tune. Don Van Vliet, Captain Beefheart? Sure enough, and yes, I do. Hey, it's hot up here. I'm schwitzing, and it's like being in a sauna, which wouldn't be so bad if I had the icy, cooling lake to dive into after the sauna. But alas, not to be, not here. So. And now a little bit from my workhorse guitar, which is my Gibson J45 from 1941. Whoa, it is hot. I'm drowning in my own tears here. I wouldn't dare go outside in this condition without a mask, that's for sure. How about the Fiji water? Are you guys familiar with Colonel Bruce Hampton and the Fiji Mariners? Colonel Bruce was kind of a hero of mine who made one of the most outrageous major label albums of all time under the name Colonel Bruce Hampton and the Hampton Grease Band. It's a double that came out on Epic, or rather I should say it escaped rather than released, and it's really good. It's really bizarre. Definitely some influence from Beefheart. And I would say it was a big influence also on Per Ubu, on David Thomas, at least vocally. No disrespect there. But anyway, check it out. But he expired in a very noble way a couple of years ago, right in the middle of a concert. He was, out there as a trooper, alive and kicking it. And part of his act was he would collapse at one point on the stage, very James Brown-like. But it was an act, like I say. This time he collapsed and he didn't get up. And he didn't move, and it was sad to say, but he had definitely expired. Well, I digress. Anyway, a little bit about Beefheart and Jeff Buckley. One of the reasons I believe, Jeff was attracted to the idea of working with me was he was a big fan of Captain Beefheart's music. He knew it, and he dug it. And right at the point that we were sort of going our separate ways, we had a conversation. And I didn't realize it, but at that point he was speaking with Columbia Records A&R, and he said to me, do you think if Beefheart was around today, I mean, Don was still alive at this point, but hardly active, certainly not in music, if he was coming out today with music, would he have gotten a major label deal? And I said, definitely not, which was then and remains to be the truth. That's just how the cookie crumbles, in the music biz, as it's presently constituted. Back in the day, they would sign pretty much anything on a hunch if somebody really had the balls to step up to the plate and get behind something. Their attitude at that point, as far as A&R policy, was, let's throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. What do we got to lose? Nowadays, it's pretty much done by numbers and hit counts, which can be manipulated, likes and whatnot. But, it's really a process that's more or less being vetted by the accounting department. And that was not the way the original great entrepreneurs in the music biz got going. They flew by the seat of their pants and did it on pure instinct and nerve. And I'm talking about people like Sam Phillips, all the great, people, the chess records, Leonard and Phil Chess also operated that way. I mean, if you go back into the history of popular music in this country, that's pretty much, the best music that came out of it was signed that way, often to indie labels, and then they'd move up to the majors. But at that point, Jeff was contemplating also a possible indie deal, I think with Big Cat Records. I don't know if they still exist. That was an indie label in the UK. And there were a lot of people telling him, no, don't sell yourself to the machine of CBS Records. He didn't ask my opinion, but, at that point, I might have said the same thing, considering the shabby treatment I received there, but that's another story, at least as an artist. So I don't want to disrespect my buddies who still, think back of nice memories we had at CBS Records, and I'm in the group there. So needless to say, my advice was, I didn't really give any advice, I just said no way about Don Van Vliet being signed. And this was back in, we were working together extensively in 92. This has to be spring of 92, so right before Jeff signed with Columbia Records, Sony Music. Okay, Shoe Fly, Swat Fly Boogie, a great boogie-woogie piano piece. My gosh, we're almost out of time here. So what should I do? I think... Dance of Destiny, and it's the truth. We're all doing that dance, and no one here gets out alive. But until that time, let's make merry while the sun shines. Sun is shining I think I'm going to go out with Caroline and look over the neighborhood after I answer some of your nice messages here. So until Thursday, where I'll be back at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I remain, as always, your friend. Love you guys. Gary Lucas here. Peace out.